who has small children at home knows sleep is essential, and by sleep I mean getting them to sleep. So parenting expert Nanny Robina is here to help us out. And what we're talking about is getting on a sleep schedule. So some people are on a sleep schedule, but your argument is that it's not right. It's a little bit too late. There's a few things that are going wrong. Tell us what is happening with most of the parents you have as clients.
Okay, so what's happening is your children are waking up at 7 o'clock, and we're talking about a slightly older toddler, so preschool kind of age. We're talking 4 years old.
Yes.
They wake up at 7. You've eliminated the nap. They're going to JK, so they're on the go now from, 8, 9 o'clock until 3 o'clock, which is not normal in their routine. They play, but now at JK, they're mentally being stimulated also, and they're on the go. They come home, and then you try to put them to bed at 7, 8 o'clock again, and probably a little bit later because they're coming home and you want to hear about their day.
Yes.
You put them to bed at 7:30, and lo and behold, they're singing, they're reading, they want a glass of water. It's now 9:30, and they're still awake.
Yes.
So that's the actual issue.
Okay, so what is going wrong there? You can't, I mean, there's nothing you can do about taking away their nap, because if they are starting kindergarten,
Exactly.
And they're there all day, they're not going to be able to nap. So should you be changing?
Well, one of the things that you got to look at is we're not really going to take away the nap, we're moving it to bedtime. Look at it that way so you feel better about it.
Yes.
So they're up at 7, okay, and they clearly, when they come home from JK, just can't cope. So what you need to be doing is moving that nap to bedtime, so they're actually going to bed between 6 and 7, probably more between 6 and 6:30, which people are like, what? Yes. You don't believe how many clients I have, and not just asleep. We're talking toddler shenanigans. Okay. And the first thing I'll suggest is, let's get them into bed earlier and then tell me how it looks. And they'll say, I can't believe it, I've got a different kid, because all the whining and the grumpiness and not being able to cope has gone. Now, you don't have to do this forever. You do this until their coping mechanisms kick in, because you've changed their sleep. You know, they were having a nap and now they're not.
Right. Yeah, the first time you mentioned this on the show, you said, put your kids to sleep at 6:30. I'm like, well, what about dinner? What's going on? The sun's out. Like, people are playing in the streets. It's early. Some people are not home from work yet, right?
That's it.
However, you've got to make these decisions in order for them to have a better sleep and actually test it out. I was all cynical. You've got parents that have done this.
I've got a lot of parents. Unfortunately, a lot of them couldn't make it today because, you know, they've gone back to school and all kinds of things are happening. But yes, we brought one along today.
So this has changed. This has been life-changing. So Andrea Carson is here with her 3-year-old Brooke. Okay, Andrea, when you heard from Nanny Robina, hey, just put Brooke down at 6 o'clock, 6:30, what was your reaction?
We've been doing that for a long time. So it's normal for me. We do a really early dinner. We do a 5:30 dinner, not always all together as a family if it doesn't work out. But we do an early dinner, 5:30. We start bedtime routine at 6. And she often falls asleep. If it's in that window, she will fall asleep while we're reading story most of the time lately, especially now that she started kindergarten yesterday. We did, over the summer, we were a little bit lax. I'd gotten her into a really good routine since she was a newborn, and we felt confident that we could push that bedtime a little bit without upsetting our forever routine. And it was a nightmare. If I missed that window, if it was after 7 o'clock and we went to put her down, she could be awake till 9, 9:30, 10, reading in her room, playing with her toys, asking for drinks. And so it's for me, it's a decision for me if I have to decide if I want to put her down for 1 hour or if I want to spend 2.5 hours doing bedtime. So for me, it's a push to get her down before 7 p.m. And we just do whatever we need to make it happen.
I know she just started kindergarten, but might I suggest a career in Hollywood? Did you see the facial expression? Like so many, there was surprise! Brooke has got it going on. She's a poster for a child going to bed at 6 o'clock at night.
Way to go, Brooke!
Amazing. And she sings. So this is something that you might want to try before you start putting up the barriers and the walls and saying, no, 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 this isn't going to work for my family. I love that Andrea said, listen, maybe we're not sitting down all as a family for dinner. It's okay. You're going to get to that point where you can all do it together, but at this point, maybe it's got to be in shifts. That's okay.
You know what? It doesn't work for everyone, and I do understand that if you're a working parent, you got to, you're coming through the door maybe at 6 o'clock.
Yes.
Let me tell you, as a nanny, I've worked for many families where I'm walking out the door. They're literally walking up the stairs with the kids as I go through the door. You don't see your children much, but when you do, it is quality time. It's not the grumpy head. It's not the child that's having a complete meltdown the minute you come through the door. And as I said, it's not for now, forevermore, unless you want it to be. I know a lot of people that practice this. I had a mum come forward. She's got all 5 kids in bed. 5 kids in bed from the ages of 7 down between 6:30 and 7.
And guess what her night looks like?
Very true.
She probably has a healthy marriage and she has me time, okay?
Yes.
So let's consider
and
this.
And there's nothing wrong with me time.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
Parenting